Welcome back to the DML podcast. It's been a little bit since we did the last podcast, I think close to over a month. So how are you doing today, John?
I'm doing pretty good. Ducks were kind of playing pretty well there, and then all of a sudden the last game kind of ended on a whimper. But personally, I'm doing great. But just the Ducks still ups and downs, kind of the name of the game. Maybe more downs than usual. But Kim, how are you doing? Nice hat, by the way.
Thanks. Looking pretty good, huh? But kind of like the story has been the whole season. This last month, you haven't really missed much other than Cronin sound like an idiot more and more, and maybe Verbeek starting to be put into question more. But the Ducks play has been consistent as it has been all season, so not consistent. Maybe a bit more winning, I guess. But I don't fully trust it because it doesn't feel sustainable and all. But they've been scoring goals recently, except for last game. So I don't know what to think of the Ducks right now, and I'm not confident in our position in this rebuild. I'll just say that.
I think there was that cool article from Patrick where, it's showing from a points production, all the young guys are regressing except for Jackson LaCombe. So I thought that was pretty eye-opening. And I feel like that's something that we've been seeing. And Cronin did have a fair defense, saying that he's focusing more on the defensive side, which makes sense considering that's where they spend most of their time. Yeah, maybe that's not going to show up, but defensive side is a little bit harder to put metrics to, I feel. So you rely more on the eye test, and the only one that kind of passes the eye test for me is Zegras. I can't really think of the other young guys where I've seen them really take a step in their defensive game.
I will say that maybe Cutter has, but obviously we have nothing to compare it to other than college.
Yeah.
In college he was not known for his defense. But I feel like he's pretty good on the back check, and he's fast on the forward check, kind of taken after Z in that way. I think in that regard, Cutter has been good. Credit to actually Cronin for one thing. He did send him down to the fourth line, saying he needs to get his habits. But all that defense has kind of eliminated some of his offense, which is what we see with most, other than, McTavish, who had this hot streak recently. Third liner, elite, mac and cheese, McTavish. Everything else seems to be going down. And then we got Zelly, not even playing. Hasn't played the last 4 games, and 12 out of the past 18, or not even 12.
I think it's 11 out of 18.
Yeah, 11
he's been scratched 11 out of the 18, which is wild.
And someone who Cronin has called our best defenseman analytically at the start of the year. So what has changed? He hasn't scored a point in a while, but...
Yeah, no, it doesn't make sense to me either. He said that back at the end of October, and then a month later, that's when he started getting scratched more often. So I don't think Zelly's play really dropped that much. But maybe let's jump into each games of the week. So the Ducks get a 6-4 win in Seattle. So 6 goals. I think that is the most or ties the most they've scored this season. And yeah, they were flying. Not much defense there, but chances both way. It was an exciting game.
Ducks scored 6 on Grubauer, and now he's waived and in the AHL. So little show into how this game went. And thankfully, the Ducks faced a cold goaltender. McTavish kept his hot streak. Terry finally got a goal. It's kind of been a quiet little bit from Terry. He got a couple assists the game before, but I don't know, not scoring as much. Kind of feels like he's being anchored down by 2 players recently, because that line of Terry, Strum, and Toronto aren't clicking as well, I feel like, anymore. So maybe that's another topic for discussion. Maybe new lineup changes have to happen.
Yeah, need to break up the besties probably, but that possession game from Terry is still there, but maybe not as much dangerous opportunities coming from it. And yeah, a good point bringing up they were facing Grubauer when they got those 6 goals, and I think the game before that, that was the Pittsburgh game, and they were facing another kind of maybe not great goaltender, and they put up a lot of goals. So you think this recent influx of goals is due to some below average goaltending, or you think it's actually some sustainable offense from the Ducks?
Nope. It is due to terrible goaltending. Even Saros was terrible in the Nashville game, too. So that's definitely it. The Ducks don't generate offense most of the time. Cronin's confused on what the team is. He's not confused. He knows what the team is, just doing the opposite of what the team is. He knows they're a rush team, but wants to play a possession game. So in games where the other teams like to play more open, the Ducks do well, because the Ducks basically just play whatever system the other team's playing, I feel like, at this point. Because when they were playing the Kraken and the Predators, it was basically, they like to give away chances back and forth, and that's what the Ducks fire on. And then when you play the Flames, who are very meticulous, I'd say, maybe defensively, even though they're young and they're not the best, but their coach focuses on the details, and you could totally see a different way the Ducks play. Like they didn't even score a 5-on-5 goal in that Flames game. They scored a shorty, and that's it. Which
just got the shorty.
First shorty of the year, by the way.
Finally got it, yeah.
The shorty, and Frank Vetrano, but it didn't generate much else. Power play still sucks.
I mean, at least good to see Vetrano get a goal. It had been some time. He had quite a few chances and wasn't able to put some in. And yeah, Ducks lose against Calgary 4-1, and they faced, I thought, they got goalied a little bit because I thought they did have some pretty good chances. But Wolf in Calgary, he played a really strong game. So it just goes to show when there's a good goalie and that some of these chances that were going in before against some of the lower quality goaltenders, just if there's a little bit above average goaltender, the Ducks just aren't able to put them into the net.
Yeah, I don't know about great chances. I think I can think of one or two, but most of it felt like it was perimeter shots. Cronin keeps going about getting to the front of the net. Before the season started, he drew a money sign on the ice to get there, and yet the Ducks aren't getting there still, and I just don't get why.
Yeah, I'm trying how you were talking about Cronin, kind of knowing what the team is and still trying to do something that they're not. I feel like that's the issue I have with Cronin. There's he'll say one thing, and I agree with a portion of it, but then he goes and he keeps talking, and it's like it's like a Michael Scott moment, He starts a sentence and he's just hoping he finds it along the way. But unlike Michael Scott, Cronin doesn't find it along the way. So they're a rush team. Yes, he's got it, but we're going to make him a possession team. And even that part, I kind of get what he's saying, because he's saying the team is young and they kind of shy away from contact, which I agree, because that's something that there's going to be some bad examples maybe. But if you see Killer, you see Dumoulin, when they have the puck and they have somebody pressing on them, they can hold on to the puck and maybe, kind of protect it a little bit more and make a pass. But when it gets to the young guys, as soon as contact comes, they're kind of passing the puck on for the most part. So I kind of get what he's saying, but also I feel like it's new NHL run and gun teams. It's not just that the Ducks are young, that they're a rush team. There's other teams out there. I mean, it was another Hockey News article I think was highlighting some the Lightning, the Knights. This isn't only a young team thing. This is a viable option in the NHL, and when the teams have been, like you said, they play into the system of the other team. When other teams are running gun, we've seen the Ducks be pretty competitive with them. But then, this Calgary game, they're playing a more meticulous game. Then they get outmatched, out-tacticked, out-coached. And I think that's also why, we see the Ducks, when they go in against a good team, they kind of play up to their competition. But then when a bad team comes in, they play down to their competition. So we've seen the Ducks win against a lot of good teams, and we've seen them lose against a lot of mediocre and a lot of bad teams. That could be an interesting thing to look at. I wonder what the Ducks' record is against, it's probably still bad, but against playoff teams versus non-playoff teams.
If you look at just the points, the Ducks are doing better. Obviously, I think Zach Kavanaugh with a Sporting Tribune put out tweet saying the Ducks are 15 points better than they had been last season or something like that. But when you think about the goaltending we're getting, Gibson and Dosty are the best tandem in the league. It's not even up for debate, to be honest. When you look at the stats, they are giving us 6 wins this season. So that's 12 points. So basically, that's the same thing as last year if we took them away.
Well, I think another stat that really shows that is if you look at the Ducks expected goals against versus their actual goals against, pretty big difference between those two, and that's because of the goaltending. So the goaltending is helping them, win games, and they're keeping the pucks out of the net when analytics say they should be going in. So thank you, Lucas and Gibby.
Slaying.
Yeah, I guess the other thing we didn't really touch on is Cronin was finally asked if he is on the hot seat. And this might kind of go into, all the things we were talking about. But, maybe usually somebody might think that they were on the hot seat. The team's not performing. He gets brought in to develop players, and they're not really showing much progress in development. But Cronin was flat out no.
What's he supposed to say, I guess, right?
Yeah, what's he supposed to say? Right. But I know, Kim, we've noticed a different tone in the videos. A little bit more.
Trying to be so positive.
Get Cronin out of here. But, what do you think the Ducks would do if they do fire Cronin? What are they going to... I don't think it's going to really solve anything, but, what you think Cronin should go? What do you think they do?
Getting Cronin fired, I think, does help the overall morale of the team. But outside of that, we're left with Thompson, assistant coach who runs the penalty kill, looks terrible. And we're left with Rich Kling, Power play looks worse than last year somehow. Don't know how. And then I guess Tim Army maybe would probably be the best bet. I don't know what he really does, but I just know they showed him on the broadcast last time. He seemed knowledgeable and is happy to be back with the Ducks. So I guess him. So coaching wise, I don't feel confident in any of their abilities probably. But I just feel like Cronin is just a bad mood. And, I was kind of looking back when you talk about Eakins. I know we're bringing him up, but like that team was fun. He was involved with the community, the Ducks Foundation. He was constantly in pictures for that. And I'm looking back, I don't see Cronin in these pictures. Just a side note. He really doesn't seem to care. He doesn't seem nice, to be honest. The Ducks still suck, and now it just feels like the vibes are going down, and getting rid of him would help the vibes, maybe.
That's a good point. I haven't thought about that because, we don't need to go into it too much. People all know about the Labushkin comments. They all know about the Silverberg comments now. So, just improving the vibes, that could be a game changer in itself. And, I didn't even think about, I think a lot of that maybe not seeming nice is just East Coast, Austin boy kind of there. Just a different culture than Southern California. But it is interesting. I hadn't even noticed him not being in like community events because Eakins was definitely going to those, and maybe he's just not showing up in the pictures, just like some of the Ducks players in recent posts, which had kind of started some rumors amongst maybe not officially in the Twitter sphere, but definitely in the Discord, people noticing, Helly not being in some of the Disney Day photos.
Oh yeah,
there's a trade in the works because he was in an Instagram post and he got removed like seconds later. So
absolutely insane, to be honest. That was so weird. Apparently, players will complain about pictures. So there was a picture he was making a weird face, so maybe he complained about it. We got some unseen Zelly content, by the way, people, because Zelly didn't like the photo.
What?
Yep. That's a true story. So maybe that's what happened, because he hasn't been traded yet. Talking about who needs to be traded, kind of segueing something else, but Dumoulin needs to be gone. He was doing great early in the season. His play has dipped kind of, but he just needs to go away so that Zelly can play, because a month of development is way better than whatever we're going to get for Dumoulin.
They might get like 1 round better of a draft pick.
First or third or second. I don't know. It's like, who cares?
Yeah, I'd rather have Zelly playing. Like, I was kind of buying into the whole, scratch a little for all 3 of them just because they are younger players, kind of giving them more of a break to get up to the NHL season, just how long and grueling it is. But now you look at like how many games in particular Zelly has been scratched, like missed the last 4. Cronin said it was supposed to be like 3 off and then back in. But then Zelly has now been missed 11 out of 18. Like, he can't find any sort of rhythm whatsoever. And this team needs offense. And Zelly's probably the most offensively gifted defenseman this year, besides the Combe. But that's,
Yeah. Well, Comb's a shocker. But besides Lacombe, Zelly's the only one that consistently gets the puck to the net from the blue line. And it's not like Zelly hasn't really played that bad. He hasn't played maybe as great as he did at the beginning of the season. But then you look at Mincy and Hellison, to be honest, they've kind of been struggling. And it's like, how can Zelly not get in every once in a while? Especially Hellison. He started out really great in his tenure here. But honestly, he's been like, he's been more than I expected still from him. But just not exciting.
The upside, Hellison versus Zellweger, drastically different. Hellison's just
also older,
defensive, grittier, and Zelly just got more, offensive upside. So not really comparable. Right and left shots. So that's another thing that's playing into this.
It, to be honest. Zelly has shown he can play on the right side. Yeah, definitely some concerns with the development factor throughout the whole Ducks organization, because we don't pay attention to the goals, but even that down there scares me. Sorry, random thought again, but Verbeek has actually hired 2 coaches. You got Cronin and Mickelveen. And guess what? They both seem to suck. So, the thing is, usually if GMs get 2 coaches, he kind of already got 2. So he does not seem to have an eye for coaches.
Yeah, I remember how many times in the past, like, I think this season and the past season, we were saying, like, oh, the goals should be good. We're going to be excited to go down to San Diego for some games. And then the season starts like, you know what? I don't think I really want to go down to San Diego for that many games. Like, I'll look at a promo schedule and see what good stuff they got, because I'll get down for that. But
did we go? You went to 1 game this year, right? Yeah, we went to 1.
I don't think we've been to a game this year yet. I think maybe you did. You did. I didn't. No, we haven't. I don't think we've been.
I was thinking, I guess not. Last game we went to was the teddy bear toss last year.
Yeah, that already happened this year. So we'll have to Yeah, we'll still have to make it down for one because, I mean, I love minor league hockey games. It's still a lot of fun, but I'll tell you what, if the goals were like actually a competitive team and winning games, probably might be going to those more in a little bit of Ducks games. Who knows?
Hey, shout out Pastuoff, who came back from the ECHL, is now leading the goals and scoring.
Turn it on, and Leno is also kind of rebounded and starting to have a really good year. Maybe we see him back up with the team after a Geno trade or something. But
because that would make the D appearing bad again. But Lundqvist, it helped Zellweger, even though he's not playing. He definitely looked like a new player when he spent time in the AHL.
Yeah, that's true.
So maybe McIlveen's doing work down there. Again, McIlveen's probably using Cronin's system, so maybe that's part of it too. Who knows?
Or it's just all Verbeek's system. That's all it is.
That's what he did.
Cronin and McIlveen are just the pawns. It's all coming from Verbeek. I mean, we don't know. It's all speculation.
Verbeek did say that's more involved. We've seen him on the broadcast every once in a while, and there's no way he's not talking to Cronin about all this stuff. So he's definitely making decisions. So we'll see. I haven't fully jumped shipped on Verbeek yet, but it's leaning that way as long as Cronin's here.
The bags are packed. I will say.
Sure.
Haven't jumped ship yet, but the bags are packed. Well, let's see. I think that's it's kind of the recap. I think we got most of our thoughts out about more thoughts than just the past week. Kind of more our thoughts since the last podcast. I don't know if we want to get into this now, Kim, but I think our first podcast we looked into our predictions for the season, or maybe not was the first podcast, but it was a video that we
first video of the season.
First video, and we made some predictions that there was a bet on the line. I don't know if that we ever decided what the bet was. We didn't really even decide how we're going to decide who gets points for these things, but we're kind of winging it. But I thought we should still go to it and get an update on it. So
yeah. By the way, we're still waiting on a punishment. So if you got one, I think the best one we got was a Kings jersey or a King jersey somewhere. I'm like, I don't even want to buy a Kings jersey though. That'd be torture in itself. Just buying it.
Yeah, not buying a Kings jersey, but. Maybe we could find somebody with something that we could, because it was wear a Kings jersey to a Ducks event. I think was the best one so far. So give us some other options. But yeah, we just want to kind of rapid fire through these and kind of give comments on each about where we sit with each of them.
Yep.
Yeah, you take the first one, Kim.
Ducks season point total. Sean had 72. I had 76. Now they're about on pace for 74, I think. So, it is pretty much neck and neck. Hopefully, the Ducks turn around, make watching their games a little more enjoyable, and are above that.
Hopefully they slow it down, you mean?
For you.
All right, so the next one we got is Hart Memorial Trophy winner, the MVP. I went with Zegras, and Kim went with Carlson. I think I am a little closer, but I don't think either of us are winning that one.
Yep.
And me and Kim did talk about this a little bit. I think if you win it, you get the point. But if you don't win it, neither person gets a point. We're not playing horseshoes and hand grenades. And either you win or you lose. So I think unless Z turns around a big way, I think Carlson, I'm not too sure. He'd have to really do a kind of the 180 and then some to get.
Hey, Four Nations, or they could turn it around. Four Nations. She's going to learn
some events. Proper coaching.
Get some proper coaching, yep. So right now it's probably it's between Terry and the goalies. I mean, Dosty and Gibby might just have to share their award, to be honest. They both.
Yeah, I mean, Dark Horse Lacombe, if he keeps this up.
That's fair. That is very fair.
It's fair, but I mean, that might get into, I think you have a win for one of these for later on. But
definitely sure.
I'll just go to the next one, best defensive forward. I got Carlson. Tim's got Killorn.
I mean, technically speaking, I'm probably closer, but that's because Carlson's not playing on the PK anymore. And Killer, I think analytically, Killer is actually one of the best defensive forwards on the team. But I want to say him still.
How are we going to decide that one?
I don't know.
But what did you say? Would you say Lundy?
I guess. But
I was almost thinking Z.
That's fair. I mean, even heck, even maybe Terry, to be honest. Just because offense kills the defense.
Yeah, I mean, might have to research that. I'm not even sure who I would pick, but let's see. So we're going to most goals. I think I might have this one already locked up. We got Terry, and Kim's got Cutter, unless Cutter maybe found a scoring touch a little bit here recently, just picks it up.
Look at the stats out of curiosity. Let me see. We know
Terry 16, Vetrano 15. So I guess it is close. I don't really have it locked up.
McTavish, he's got 12.
Yeah, he's got 12. All I know is that, and Cutter's at 8. So Cutter's really, so I'm in less danger of you gaining a point. We'll say that.
Yes. All right, you got most assists, Zegras or Carlson. So that's still Terry. Strome, next closest. Terry has 23. Strome has 22. After that, it's Jackson LeCombe. Z has 8, but obviously...
And Carlson has 7, but Z has been kind of out of the lineup, so maybe he'll start picking it up because the team has been looking better when he's in the lineup.
Yeah, with Zegras is back. If we only could get Zegras back at center, I think maybe we can unlock some other stuff, too.
All right, most improved. I said Terry, and Kim said Lacombe, which I
Definitely
think
got that one.
Kim probably already has that locked up unless Lacombe falls off a cliff. So
I called going into the season that Gudas and Lacombe would be our best defensive pairing. Now, I thought Gudas would help more, but I was right. They are our number 1 D pair. And then we got penalty leader, McTavish for Sean and Gudas for me. Ross Johnston, Gudas is second.
Yeah.
Ooh.
McTavish really has cleaned up his play since last year. It's
Snap fingers.
Crazy.
That's crazy, actually. Good for McTavish.
Let's see. Next one. Will they lead the league in PIMS?
They are not leading the league in PIMS. That is for sure. What even are they right now?
Yeah,
At the beginning of this season, they were 5th best team, but now they have been picking up penalties, I think.
Yeah, Ducks are 13th in penalty minutes per game. So
wow, that's pretty good to be honest.
Quite the fall off from last year.
And I said yes. Ouch.
Yeah, so I might have that one locked up already too, unless the Dirty Ducks come back. Let's see. Will the Ducks have at least a league average PP? Oh boy, I said yes. Why did I say yes? Oh. Man, I was really hoping Brownie was the reason. Optimistic Ducks fans, my fault.
Kings power play is trash too. So happy.
Yeah, the Ducks are the 31st worst power play, and the Kings are 29th. So yeah, guess that's fair.
I mean, I'd argue it does look better at times, the power play, but
there's chances.
Producing. Yeah, I mean, at least they got the puck in sometimes, more than I think with Brown. I don't know. I just want to feel better, so I'm going to say they look slightly better.
I would agree. There's less dump and chase on the power play than it was last year, I think. Zone entries aren't as much the problem anymore. With scoring, just kind of the team in general has been the problem. So it's more the team, not just power play issue.
Yeah.
No, power play still sucks. Okay, well, same question, but this time for the penalty kill. And, I said yes again. So stupid. This is going to lose me the freaking... game. Ducks are the 27th on the PK in the league. So, Kim, 2 points. Special teams. Special teams battle. Special teams wins games. And even in this game, that's proof of it. Jeez. Yep.
I only hope.
All right, Kim. I've been taking most of them. You take the next one.
How many of Fowler, Zegras, and Gibson will be on the team at the ends? Sean said 3. I said 2. And one of those is gone already. Peace. Calum, good luck.
Yeah. But hey, if Gibby somehow... Remember, we're not playing horseshoes or hand grenades, so... Yeah, I don't think there's any way. I think he got that one locked up. Kim's going to mop the floor with me. So actually, don't give us ideas for your punishments in the comments.
Make sure they're good, folks.
Don't do it.
How many mishies does Zegras hit? Sean said 2. I said 1. And I'm thinking it's going to be 0.
I think it's going to be 0.
Cronin zapped the life out. Hate bad for the game. Coach Cronin, as Torts would say.
Damn, I'm looking at my answers, and I'm cooked, folks. I'm cooked. How many All-Stars will the Ducks have? I should have disagreed with you and said 1, but I was trying to have different answers too, so I said 2. There's absolutely no way, unless they send both goalies, that the Ducks are having 2. So Kim's going to get another point.
You can get Dosty for sure, and I feel like Terry's a possibility. I think it's possible, but they're actually... I just realized this was a stupid question. 4 nations. Leo Carlson's going. Does that count? It's not really even an all-star game.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
It's not even an all-star game. 4 nations. Leo Carlson's going.
Strike it down. Strike it down.
1.
Nope. Let's see. Next, how many players will hit 50 points? Oh, boy.
Well,
the optimism was high going into the season, folks.
We're getting 1. I'll say 2 at the end now, but crazy how different that is. Yeah, Sean said 5. I said 6. And then got how many players will hit 20 goals? Sean said 4. I said 5.
I have a shot at. I have an outside shot.
Not sure. I don't
Killer
think
turns it on as of late. Don't think Killer's gonna. I mean, Terry Vetrano, lots. McTavish.
I feel confident in McTee getting it. Terry's at 16, Frank's 15, McTavish 12, Killer's at 10. Oof. I feel like Carlson and Cutter could turn it on.
I mean, Z could too, but that'd be a crazy run from him.
Oh yeah, 5 goals right now for Z. Yeah. I don't know. It's gonna be close.
Right. Yeah. I think 3 would be my bet right now. So yeah, I wasn't tallying them up. But I think Kim has a lead just because of special teams and the Lacombe and the trades. And I think the ones that I have right now are close to falling off. So,
but still battle.
Yikes! Don't everyone comment no punishment in the comments. And moving on. Yeah, what we do at the end of every podcast or show, whatever you want to call this, is the Discord question. So, you want your questions read out, you want to hear our thoughts, then hop into the Discord. We'll talk about the Ducks there. So I'm hopping over there. Special section for the podcast questions. We'll go with the first one. Who would be on your dream Ducks team? Pick from the entire history of the team. All right,
that's the question. Do you want to win, or do you want Kim to be happy?
They did not specify. If this is your dream...
Dream. I guess I'd rather win, but we'll just have some fun with this. So we're gonna do Terry on the right wing.
Okay.
Ricky, another righty, but we'll put him on the left wing. Raquel, center.
2 of Kim's favorite players.
I mean, I do have a soft spot for Kessler, even though I feel like I should say Getzlaf because that was actually a killer line when Terry broke out. So we're saying Getzy. In the center position. And then I guess D-wise, Lindy. Got to get the bestie with the racks. Lindholm on the back end. And then prime time Sammy Votman. He's one of my favorite players. Yeah.
That's cool.
I got a signed picture on the wall back over there, framed and everything. Goalie. Goalie. Probably Gibson still. Questionable.
Brian Gibson.
Hiller, it's a possibility. I feel like I liked Hiller a lot. Freddie could be in the mix, but now we'll go Gibby. So that's a fun lineup. Go for it, Sean.
Yeah. Well, you can just tell when Kim kind of became a fan, and then you're going to tell, when I became a fan, that I'm older than Kim. Because mine is going to be probably more closer to the
actual.
I mean, the Ducks just had the first team thing that they just did. So, I mean, mine's going to be, I feel like, similar to that. I mean, I can't not have Solani and Korea on the wings for my team.
Partly why it's different, because how is
yeah, wait, I know, there you go. But now my center, I mean, Getzlaf's the obvious choice, but I think imagine having Solani, Korea playing with Z. Cool. Imagine how fun that would be. So I feel like I'm gonna go with that. And then go into the D, man. I mean, there's the easy choice of doing a Niedermeyer Pronger, but I mean, I want to be a little bit more fun than that. I think this is one that we're going to have an agreement on because you know how much I loved Hampus Lindholm. If you're Hampus and clap your hands. I'm definitely with Hampus on the left side and then on the right. That's a tough one because I feel like a lot of the defensemen that I liked back in the day were all lefties. I'm thinking of Boscheman. I'm thinking of Lubomir Vishnowsky, who is like a right wing.
I mean, don't worry.
Defenseman. I mean, Ruslan Soleil, I think was even a lefty.
RP. 2 lefties doesn't hurt, right? The Ducks are seeing that come to fruition.
Oh, that's true. I guess I'll go with Boom Boom. I loved Boscheman back in the day, so I'm gonna go with him. And in goal, part of me wants to go with Dosty. I love Dostal, but I gotta go with someone basically should have his name up in the rafters. Give me Jiggy. For my team. So there's a little bit that I think that team would absolutely smash, but also that's just some fun and more personal picks for me.
I mean, I feel like my team would be okay, but I wouldn't pick us to win anything.
Oh, they would. Yeah, I guess you'd have to fill out a whole roster, but
yeah.
line v line, yeah, I think mine would smoke yours. But I know Getzlaf would be a problem against my forward group, that's for sure. Oh, the question said, keeping things somewhat simple, make 2 lines, 2 defensive pairings, and 2 goalies.
Well, I think I kind of do 2 defensive pairings and 2 goalies. I don't know about my second line. Probably Kessler still. No, wait. I'll do Z. I'll do Z. Keep it fun.
There you go.
You know what? Andre Kasha. Get him back in the...
That dude, forehand, backhand.
So good. Oh, I remember being a sweet when he scored against in Dallas in overtime. Oh, so much fun. And then Cogs for the heartthrob. The guy you never could score a breakaway. There you go. That sounds like a terrible line, but that's what it is.
Yeah. All right, how about your second defensive pairing?
So it's like, look home. Just kidding. I'd probably go Niedermeyer, and then, I don't know, maybe instead of Pronger, I'll go Josh Manson. Similar physical.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I like that one.
And then I guess Hiller and Gibby.
Hiller and Gibby. That's a good one. Yeah, for my second one, I think we are going to have... I'm having Cogs on mine, but I'm just taking that checking line, or that second line from the 2015 team. Just give me Sylph, give me Cogs, give me Kessler. Oh, I loved watching that line just absolutely go to work against the other team's top line. Then going for a defensive pairing, give me Lubo. I loved Lubo. Should have won the best defenseman award that one year. Then for the other, neither righty. I liked the Manson one that you did, but I'll go with Niedermeyer. I mean, you gotta pick him. Sorry, you're gonna be a third or fourth defenseman on my team, bud. But then for goalie, so I got Jiggy. I mean, I gotta take Gibby.
I feel like, yep, that's the answer. Primetime Gibby was crazy. Should have a Vezina. He wasn't a Duck.
I mean, dark horse Victor Foss for getting those wins against the Kings was fun too. Let's see, next one. Based on how this roster is constructed, assuming we re-sign all RFAs still on the roster and let the UFAs walk, do you give Seneca a full-time spot in the top 9 or send him back to juniors? There's a second part of this question, but I'll let you answer the first part.
I watched one of his games recently, and he is not ready, but I really want him to play next year just to give us kind of hope. He can't play with the goals. So it's either juniors or the Ducks, and I just don't... He's skinny, he's small, and he's put on weight, but I don't know if juniors is going to help him long term. So I feel like he's got to be on the Ducks next year, just based on how it's kind of going with Verbeek, who says he wants to not rush prospects, but yet he's rushing prospects in the NHL. So I think he will be on the Ducks.
I guess you got to see like what he does in the off season if he puts on weight, because he's he's like hasn't grown enough. And yeah, I wish he didn't have to go back to juniors. I wish there was something else, or I guess I'm being optimistic again. Maybe I shouldn't be, but I'm thinking Verbeek's finally going to get something done in the offseason, maybe signing some bigger name players to come play here. So
thank goodness he didn't get Stamkos and Marchessault signed. We'd have terrible contracts right now. So I don't even know if I trust the fool.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair, but I feel like that's another reason, like, even if we are letting the UFAs walk, which I think is, I think of all the UFAs, I was looking at the list earlier, I can't remember them, but I don't think there's anyone on there that I would really want to, like...
Rottinen, who just got traded, but...
Or I meant UFAs on the Ducks right now.
Anyone? No,
there isn't anyone, so, like...
RFA-wise, yes, obviously, but...
Yeah, RFA-wise, definitely. But this question, we're assuming those all signed, so... Again, I'd love to see him, but I just think... I don't really see him. So this second question, I guess, is more for me, because it says, if you send him back to juniors, who are off-season targets to sign, how long and how much? Oh, I would need to do some research on that question, but I mean, we'll probably get into a video on that, maybe towards more of the off-season, or getting towards that. We'll probably look into that more. Sure. I mean, I think it's the same thing that Verbeek said last offseason. It didn't get done. I mean, maybe not so much number one defenseman now, but one or two top 6 forwards, maybe, I would probably want to see. So I need to look at the free agency class to do that for a little bit. See, next question. How long and for how much is Trouba's extension going to be, and does it include deferred payments like for Troman?
I wouldn't be shocked if it includes deferred payments. I mean, he's making $8 million now. Why would he want to go down a step, right? Even though he's definitely not worth the $8 million. Honestly, I think he's going to sign. I don't think the Ducks are going to trade him. I don't think they're going to let him go at the end of it. So, how much is it going to be? I think he still will make less, maybe like a $6 million contract, or like 2 years.
Yeah, more of like being a second D pairing kind of salary. But yeah, I think there's no question there's going to be deferred payments, even though I think there was some talk amongst the league not really being a fan of it. Yeah. So who knows for the next CBA if that's going to even be allowed. But if it's allowed, I feel like being in California just helps out a ton. So I feel like it will definitely have some. And I think just, Vetrano getting it is just a taste of what's to come. Let's see. Next question. Does Dostal still have a chance of winning the Vezina?
No, but it was a great ride at the start of the season.
Yeah, unless he turns it on and gets some shutouts, so the Ducks can get some wins with 1 or 2 goals, and that gets them into the last wild card. Then I don't think it's happening. Something like that has to happen. Let's see. We kind of talked about this a little bit. Is there a coach that you would like to see replace Cronin?
Someone with experience, I guess. I feel like I still need to do a video on this because I've heard some names. There's like Jay Woodcroft, who did the Oilers 2 years ago. David Carl, DU coach, Denver, affiliated with Terry, championship coach. But that's hesitant to have someone else who's a rookie. We saw how much Cronin struggled. He had so much learning curve. And then I think I've heard Gallant, who was from Vegas. He kind of set the tone there in Vegas to kind of set him on the right foot, which, I mean, in that regard, if you think about that kind of sounds nice. But just someone with experience. I'm done with the AHL coaches.
You don't want to bring Bruce back?
I mean, I love Brucey. Every time I see that man, I smile. Yeah. I would love it. Yeah. But no.
Definitely. I don't think he wants to coach anymore. He seems to be going more into the hockey personality and kind of analyst route.
Not to mention, anytime he talks about the Ducks, he says very negative things. So obviously he still cares, I guess. But I feel like the Ducks wouldn't want someone who says so many bad things about us.
But yeah, I love Bruce. But yeah, I'm kind of with you. I just heard those names you've thrown out, and I haven't really done a ton of research. And I think there's going to be more coaches that are going to get fired. But I think we tried the whole inexperienced thing twice, and didn't work out. So maybe there's a reason why it's a rotating door of NHL coaches, because these guys can get it. I've shown they can get it done in the past, and then they kind of, slip up or lose their ways, but then they come back on, they can do it again. So I guess I would go for someone experienced as well. So let's see. Yeah, the next one. If Pat Verbeek is to blame for all this, who would make a good GM? Who's the dream pick? Who's a realistic option for the Ducks?
I don't know any other names, but anyone that's like the Avs, the Panthers, Lightning, any of those GMs would be great. I don't know their names, but
Oh, I got a good one, Kim.
Oh, yeah?
Give me Ryan Getzlaf.
Yeah, he does want to be.
He wanted it. Give it to him. Come on. He's gonna have his name in the rafters. Give him the GM spot. Let's see it.
The fans just gotta hate him after it all.
This will be a good one, Kim. Good one to end on. So last one. We'd also talk about there was some Utah news about the names recently, but with all the hype going around about Utah finally getting their own name, what would you name your own hockey team, and where would you place their location?
Well, we know the 3 names now for Utah. Utah Hockey Club is option.
The Wasatch.
Yeah, that one. They had that one, and they listened to the fans saying how much they hated it, and they actually threw it out, so that's cool. So it's no longer Wasatch, the Mountain Rage in Utah. It's Mammoth and Outlaws and Utah Hockey Club. So I'm guessing I feel like Mammoth is going to be the one.
Well, which one will you pick for Utah? I mean, you said it's going to be Mammoth, but is that the one you would pick?
Honestly, someone in our Discord said that the Utah Hockey Club still has a very cool logo with a Yeti because they can't use the Yeti name. I'm like, man, that kind of sounds cool. I really do like the Yeti the best, but with the copyright with the actual brand of Yeti.
Yeti was always my pick from the beginning, but that one's out now. So out of the 3,
I guess Mammoth.
Which one's your? Yeah, see, I think I like Outlaws better now. I didn't really like that mock-up that's been tossed around. I didn't like the logo, so I hope it looks different than that if that is the chosen one. I like the colors still, but
colors.
Outlaws would just be cool.
That's fair. I guess the would really fit Mammoth anyway.
I mean, Ice Age, sort of, like a woolly mammoth.
Yeah, all the memes could be 4 movies now, 5 movies, whatever of Ice Age.
There's only one in my book.
Yeah, cool?
In my memory, there's only one. Now we'll get back to the question. Your own hockey team. Where? What?
Why don't we put it on an island somewhere? We're going to Hawaii, folks.
Hawaii. The travel would be insane.
Hey, everyone else has to do it too. Ducks already traveling together. I guess it's Hawaii, maybe like molten lava would be kind of cool. lava
Oh, that's nice.
versus ice. Yeah, that's kind of fun. Or volcanoes. Nah, volcano sounds roasting pigs. There you go. Molten lava.
Where in the team name? So what's the team name? You thrown some Hawaii things out. The hula girls. Molten lava is the team name.
Molten lava.
Fire and ice.
Yes.
Molten lava.
Lava hot. Hawaiian style.
Okay. That's not where I thought you were going. I thought we used to play a lot of NHL back in the day, and we used to make our own team. And I can't even really sort of remember who got me into hockey, whether it was the Ducks or whether it was the Long Beach Ice Dogs. I think it was a little bit of both. So I'm bringing back the Long Beach Ice Dogs, the same unis, so good. We'll upgrade the rink a little bit, but we're still, I feel like downtown Long Beach is still a pretty cool spot to have a team.
Still gonna have the whales and the fish on the outside, though.
We'll have an homage to it. Yeah, we might spruce it up a little bit still. Spike, also awesome mascot.
Yeah,
but yeah,
all the volcanoes are my mascot. Yeah, he'll shoot out sparklers and
when they score, it just erupts.
Yeah, that sounds sick. Actually,
that'd be kind of cool. Yeah.
Cool.
All right, Hawaii, get on it. We just need a faster plane, faster travel to make it happen. All right, well, I think that'll do it. I think we did it again. Thank you to our members. Check out our social links below if you enjoyed. Like, subscribe, follow, leave a review, do all that stuff. Thank you for listening and watching. And go Ducks! Nice.